What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of DownBeat Denver. Today we've got a special episode for you. We're not going to have a band on, but we're going to keep it fun, entertaining, and educational, and try to teach you guys a few things, and just also let you know what's going on right now.
Cool. So the hit list for today's episode, we're going to talk about some practical drum miking techniques. We're going to the Soltones Cereza show.
Yes.
2 bands that were on this together are playing live at the Skylark. We're going to talk about the park. We've got some pretty cool ideas we want to share with you. We hope to get some feedback from you, but we're really getting excited about that.
So we're going to start off the episode by just going over some drum mic techniques. So here's that.
So you need to record a drum set on a budget. You have 2 microphones. How do you do that? We're going to cover that right now. Mitch, why don't you tell them what mics we have?
Yeah, absolutely. So down here on the kick, we have a Shure SM57, and then as an overhead mic to capture the whole drum kit, we have an AT4040. So we started out trying a couple different techniques with the 57. This is really going to be your overhead kit mic, so here we want to make sure that we capture some good low end, something that's going to hit. Prior to this, we had it back about 2 feet, and we noticed that we're picking up a lot of kind of thud and air. And so we moved it forward and pushed it right about inside that porthole right there. And when we monitored that back, we noticed it's a lot tighter, it's hitting a lot better, getting the rest of the kit.
To make it a little bit tighter, I actually have a sheet in here, and so I unfolded that a little bit and put a little of that to overlap the front and back head to definitely give it that punch.
Yeah. So. And then for this overhead, we started with that one kind of right about where Matt's standing there. We had it kind of pointing over the hi-hat, and noticed that we were getting a little bit too much cymbals. So we moved it back behind the drummer, up pretty high, and kind of pointing directly down over this center part of the kit where the kick tom snare is right there. That's kind of the sweet spot that we found listening back to it.
Do you want to hear how it sounds?
Yeah, Matt's going to play a little something for you. We'll take a listen to what it sounds like. Okay, so as you can hear, it sounds pretty balanced, pretty natural. Let's break that down. I'm going to start off with our room mic, which is our AT4033. It's a condenser, and we use this as an overhead microphone capturing the whole kit. I'm using the SSL channel, which is one of my favorites, and I'm using that for EQ. So on that, I've cut it about 120 to make some room for our kick mic to poke through. Other than that, I'm not doing anything as far as EQ, and that just goes to a good source. So with these room mics, you want to just make sure that you monitor back and that you get as natural of sound as you can through the recording to start with. You don't want to really rely on post. So just make sure you monitor that back. I'm doing a little bit of compression here. So it's a ratio of about 2. I'm taking about 3 dB of gain reduction out with a semi-slow attack, and I'm keeping this punch to keep some of the attack to come through for those transients on the snare and kick. So nothing too complicated there. Just a little compression, making it fat. And then I'm using the second compressor more as a limiter, so I've got a really high ratio, almost at 20, and really fast attack on that. So that's just going to catch the parts where the toms get a little bit loud. And you'll notice that it's not catching any of these parts. So that just helps round out some of the transients and some of the attack of those toms coming through really loud. And I've also got both microphones going through a drum bus with a little bit of mud taken out about 300 hertz. And I'm setting it through a distortion, this Manny Marquin distortion plugin, which I really like, and I'll A/B that so you can hear it. And this is just really, really subtle, but it's going to add a little bit of character to the kit. So that's one of those things you can't really hear too audibly, but it's something that you feel, especially when you turn the drums up loud, and it almost acts as an exciter, giving some harmonic distortion to the drum kit there. So that's how I mix the two microphone technique. Pretty easy. Want it to sound as natural as possible. That's how I do it.
Ta-da! Ta-da! 4 mics, that's right. So you have a 4-channel interface and 4 microphones, 2 SM57s, 1 58 beta, and then our room mic, which is actually right here, is the overhead mic that we had before. Let's talk about what we replaced.
Yeah, so we've got a 58 here, and that's just sitting in the kick right about where we had that 57. We've got a SM57 here. We're kind of doing a Glenn Johns technique.
So that one's on the floor tom side of the kit.
3 mics, and then we got another 57 up here as our snare overhead mic.
And that thing needs to be completely centered on the snare as much as possible. That is a big part of the John Glenn's miking technique, is that overhead is from the center of the snare straight up.
Yeah, and kind of the reason we wanted to do this is it's a pretty common setup. You know, if you just have a simple 4-channel interface, 3 dynamic mics and 1 condenser, you can set yourself up sounding pretty good on drums. So
you say that's about like 6-7 feet, our room mic up there?
Yeah, and it's just pointed down at an angle kind of like this, right at the front of the kit.
It's about 7 feet up in the air too, so
yeah.
Got that nice triangle going there. And the floor tom mic, that is pointed pretty much level with the top of the floor tom.
With the Glenn Johns, there's no like, here's how you do it every time. Every drum kit's going to sound different, so
that's a very important part.
Yeah.
When you're doing these miking techniques, there is very little room to push the sound of any instrument one way or another. You're capturing the whole kit, so when you do this, make sure that you like the way your kit sounds just to your ear, because you cannot fix this stuff in post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the main thing to listen for is just balance, like where your toms are at, where the kick's at. Overheads is really important, like he was saying. So just use your ears, play a little something, record it, run it back, listen to some monitors, and just make sure everything sounds balanced and natural. As you can see in blue, we've got our 57s. This one's going to be the left of the kit, near the floor tom. This is our overhead, which is over the snare. We've got our 58, which is our kick, and then our AT4033, which is our room mic in front of the kit. So let's take a listen to, to kind of give you an overarching idea of what I like to do with this technique. Is the most important thing here is getting levels correct. So I'm going to start off with our left-right, and if you listen, you'll notice that there's a pretty good stereo imaging already just from hard panning these hard left and hard right. But the most important thing is listening to where the kick is. The kick and the snare, you want to fall in the center, as most in the center of your stereo image as possible. So what I'm going to do is just listen to the overhead microphone on the 57, and I'm going to slowly bring up this 57 on the left. And what I want you guys to listen to is where that kit starts to move from the right to the left of your stereo image. And we're going to try to get it right in the center so that the kit sounds nice, natural, and balanced, like you're almost sitting there playing the drums. Cool. So that's right in the center. And as you can hear, when he rolls over those toms, when Matt rolls over those toms, you'll be able to hear the stereo imaging. As he goes to the floor tom, it pops over to our left. That's what we're really looking for. And then we just supplement this SM58 as a kick to add a little bit of something to our low end. Okay, and I'm not doing anything crazy with EQ or compression there. I like the kit to sound as natural as possible, so I'm just doing a little bit of cuts here and there, similar to what I did on our 2 channel. Next, we're going to take a listen to our AT4033 room mic. This is our mic that we're using as our whole kit mic. So this one I'm going to kind of use as a supplement. If you listen back to the drums, the one thing I notice is that it sounds almost a little bit too stereo, and so I'm going to use this room mic to kind of push up that center image and really fill things out. So let's take a listen to this. Cool. So if you hear, we've still got that stereo image spreading across when Matt rolls across the toms. You can still hear the imaging across the kit, but more so it feels like somebody's playing right in front of you. And again, that's what we're going for. On that, I've got just a little bit of compression. Try and just bring it out a little bit more. And then I'm taking all those drums through our drum bus. I'm doing the same exact thing as on the other one. I've got a little bit of natural harmonic distortion, and then some light compression to kind of just hold things together, be that glue. And again, I'm taking this through, sending it out to our effects, which is a reverb. And on this reverb, this is kind of important too. For drums, I don't like to have a lot of low end in my reverb, so I'll take my reverb and then I'll also add some filters so that I can kind of control the way that the room is going to sound. And so I'll A/B that for you real quick. And also, I've got our reverb on this imager, which is actually splitting the signals from highs and lows and spreading it a little bit more. So I'll just A/B a couple things so you can listen to that. So very, very subtle, small things that you won't really notice, but stuff that you feel. Keeping this kit sounding as natural as possible, really focusing on the levels of our stereo image. And that is how I mix our 4-channel microphone technique. Here we are outside of Skylark Lounge. We're here for the collaboration of the Soltones, who was on episode 2, and Cereza, episode 5. We're really excited to check out this show. They're going to be sharing the same stage, so let's go check it out.
All right, that was an amazing Sol-Reza show. That's what we've dubbed it. Soltones Cereza, Sol-Reza. I mean, it makes sense. Come on, guys. So, thanks for sticking around and checking that out. You've got to go see these bands live. Clearly, they are an amazing time, and that was just a little bit of all the fun that we've had. We do have some information for you about the park, and Mitch is going to tell you about that.
Yeah, so last episode we touched a little bit on that. What our plans are is to have a community day in the park, and the goal there is just to get everybody in the Colorado music community together in the name of music, and just have fun, record some music, and we're aiming on doing that towards one of the last weekends of July, and so we'll be filling you guys in on more of the finer details here shortly.
Gives you plenty of time to practice the songs that you want to record and perform. We've had a lot of singer-songwriters contact us and want to be on the show, and logistically it's a little hard to make just a single person on here, and so that's why we want to get together. We are planning on setting up some sort of recording apparatus. We are not sure exactly what that's going to look like yet, but definitely bring your instruments, percussive, acoustic, all great. Avoid bringing drum sets, that would be nice. We don't want to make anybody mad. But we're planning on Wash Park, so there's plenty of amazing places to set up there with great scenery, and so the vibe should be exactly what we want to build with DownBeat.
Yeah, should be a really good time, so just stay tuned for some more information on that, and we're really looking forward to that. And so thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it, and
please subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe if you
Push
like
the
what we're
button.
doing.
Yeah.
So we can keep doing it. And we've got some exciting bands coming up next on DownBeat Denver, so definitely stay tuned.
Absolutely. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
See ya.
Thanks.